Let's go over 10 motivational quotes that are focused more on psychology. Quote number 1 by General Patton. If you are going to win any battle, you have to do one thing. You have to make the mind run the body. Never let the body tell the mind what to do. The body will always give up. It is always tired in the morning, noon, and at night. But the body is never tired if the mind is not tired. So this quote to me is very impactful and it's very true. And there may be some of you listening to this saying, well, that's not true. If your body is tired, you just feel tired. If you can't go anymore, you just can't go anymore. But if you've never been in a situation where you are just pushed beyond your, what you think is your cap, then this quote might not mean much to you because you haven't experienced that. And there's some of you who have been in that situation where you thought that that was it, that you were done. That's it. I don't have anything else. And you talk to yourself and you say, okay, I know that I'm tired. I'm defeated. I feel like crap, but I'm going to keep going at least one more mile. I'm going to keep going at least one more rep. I'm going to keep running. I'm going to keep researching. I'm going to keep writing. I'm going to keep doing whatever it is you're doing. And at the end you say, wow, okay, turns out that, yeah, I had more in me than I thought. It's a quote that hits home because if you've ever been in a situation where you just have to keep pushing because you feel like you don't have an option and you don't want to be a failure, especially in situations where you're with a lot of people and you say, man, I don't want to be that person that fails and these other people don't. And I feel so tired and I just want to, drop the pack, but you don't. You just keep going. That is an incentive for you to remember that your mind is so freaking strong and so weird that it can almost like motivate you and just change the way you feel into being able to push past boundaries. So take that with you, is that your mind and your body are not the same. You win the battles with your mind. That's the fact. Your body is almost like the accessory. Quote number 2 by Admiral McRaven. Life is full of difficult times, but someone out there always has it worse than you do. If you fill your mind with positive thoughts, you will have positive outcomes. I'll play devil's advocate here for a bit and say that some people are in situations where life is absolutely dreadful, and maybe somebody is at that point where it's just horrible. It can be very bad. Like, just imagine something really, really worse, that somebody right now is living that extreme event, okay? Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably not, because you have access to a computer, you have access to watch YouTube videos, you have time to watch YouTube videos, but that's not to say that you haven't had negative experiences or difficult times. But I think the point of the quote is not so much that we don't have hardships and that we don't have impasses. And just because you don't suffer in the same extreme that somebody does, that does not mean that you don't suffer. It just means that you should remember that feeling you have could be worse. And I'm kind of conflicted how I feel about that, to be honest, because I am aware that individuals, they will perceive something bad probably in the same level as somebody else with a more extreme scenario. But I think the important thing here is to trick yourself or to convince yourself and to believe that a difficult time is only that, right? And that people who are having it worse, they can overcome those challenges, and they have. And there's videos and there's books and there's a lot of, I have a book over there called First They Killed My Father. And it's extremely sad and it's crazy. And this woman is still writing books. She's doing podcasts. She's doing interviews. And she's happy. And you know what she did with those impasses? She donates so much money and she brings so much awareness. And it's a sign to say that these difficult times, they can breed positive results if you let them, if you overcome those challenges. So if you fill yourself with just positive thoughts and you say, okay, I have the potential to make something positive out of this, that positive result will come. Number 3 is by Chesty Puller, and he said, take the pain head on. It shows your strength and those around you. I like to start off with military members when I do these videos because they're always so motivational and so like hardcore, right? So take the pain head on. Just, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to take the challenge. Don't be afraid to step up. Don't be afraid to raise your hand, to speak up, to be the person who takes the initiative. Take it head on. It's the pain. It's the lessons. The pain will always bring forth the lessons. Think about if you're getting a tattoo. What is that? That's pain, right? You feel the pain as the tattoo artist is drawing everything. But at the end, what do you get? You get a sleeve. You get the tattoo you wanted. There's something positive out of it. It's important that it shows your strength. It shows you your strength and those around you. So it shows you yourself what you're capable of, but it also shows the people around you. And this is very good for a leader because, and Jesse Puller was a Marine, so he had people, he had subordinates. You want to show the people around you that you, as the leader, you take the pain head on and you can handle that, and they emulate that behavior. We're going to take a twist here and go to Friedrich Nietzsche. That which does not kill us makes us stronger, which is crazy that he said this. He's probably, a philosopher, if you guys know, very pessimistic philosopher. So him being the one that says what doesn't kill us makes us stronger is crazy. And it's true. We were following that theme, right? Hardships that do not kill us, hardships that we have in our lives, they are what's going to make us stronger. They are what's going to make us better, what makes us more experienced, what gives us the lessons, what helps us become wiser so that we can teach these lessons to other people. Next one is by Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. We're following the same theme here, guys, okay? We're hearing the same thing from different people from all types of the world, all regions of the world, and different eras, literally. Like, this is not even close to each other. So, what is he saying? He's saying the same thing. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Right now, if I spill my water and drop it all over my laptop, my reaction will dictate my emotion. So I think here it's important is that it's not necessarily what people do to us, what people say to us, what actions people have that make us angry. It's not that stuff and what happens to us that make us upset. It's how we react to it. And we have control. You have to have control of your emotions. You have to be able to say, okay, I have right now the emotion of feeling angry because of this outcome, but I'm going to choose to react to it in a professional manner, in a stoic manner, in a calm manner, as opposed to overreacting and throwing stuff and being aggressive and just throwing common sense out the window. It's how you react to these scenarios that mold your character and that make you a person who's calmer, who's wiser throughout those experiences. Number 6, Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find your strength. Very similar to the previous quote, right? You have the power over your mind. You have control of your what? What is your mind? Your brain, right? Which controls what? Your emotions. You have control over your emotions. You don't have control over what the outside events happen. You don't have control about what's happening with the politicians. You don't have control over what's happening at school, at work, at any of those things. You don't have actual control of that. But you have control of yourself. You have control of how you feel. You have control of your emotions, of your mind, of your soul. When you realize this is when you will find your strength. Why is that? Why? When you realize that you only control yourself and not the outside events, why is that strength? Well, it's strength because you stop worrying about all that extra noise, and you just worry about yourself. And what does worrying about yourself do? It makes you a better person because you have something to work on. You know what to tweak. You know how to improve. And those things build and they compound and you become a better individual overall. Number 7 is by Carl Rogers. The good life is a process, not a state of being. It's a direction, not a destination. The good life is a process, right? So let's break that down. The good life, right? It's a process. It's going to take time. It's a journey, right? When you have a process, you have a journey, you have steps, you have events. They're plural. There's things. It's not an event. It's not a situation. It's the whole process of you to achieve a good life. And it's not a state of being, meaning that you don't just have a good life. You work at it, and it's a direction, not a destination, meaning that you're not at the end. You're not going to get to the good life at the end. You're going to get into the good life by consistently flowing the process in a direction. So if you think about the good life, what Carl Rogers is saying is the good life is a process, right? And in that process, it's the direction that gives you the good life, not the destination, not by you imagining yourself at the end. Rather, it's the actual process that brings forth the better life. Number 8 is by Viktor Frankl. He says, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Oh, I love that quote so much because it's so true. Like if you guys, and I speak about this in other videos too, but I'm going to talk about it right now because I think it fits perfectly with this quote. If you are somebody with strong values and beliefs and ethics, and you work at a company that has conflicting ethics and values from what your own personal beliefs, guess what? It's going to be very difficult for you to work there or for you to even care to accomplish anything. But if you have a company that matches your values, then you go very far for them because you feel that it's something worth working for. If you have a why to live, and I'm using work just because it's something that everybody can relate to, but if you have a why to live, maybe you have a big goal. You want to invest, you want to donate all this money to save people, to feed people, to provide something for them. This type of goal is your why. And you can bear almost anyhow, which means you can take on any impasse, any risk, any type of hurdle or setback. You can take it head on because your reason for accomplishing your goals is more valuable than any sort of impasse or barrier to your success. Number 9, William James, act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. That's a deep quote, honestly. If you act like what you do makes a difference, then it does. Again, if you have something that you stand for, if you have something that you want to pursue, if you have something that you truly believe in, standing by it and pushing towards it is going to make a difference, more so than if you didn't. But I think the important thing here is it says act. When I think of that first word, act, as if what you do makes a difference, act, it makes me feel like he's saying even if you don't believe it, just act like you do and it'll make a difference. It does. Meaning that you could just play the role. You could just be the person that's going to act like all this matters to you. And whether you act, whether you truly believe it or not, it's going to make some sort of impact. Now, I would say you shouldn't really have to act, especially for some things that are very valuable to you. Maybe at work you do act a little bit, right? Because you don't care that much. And just by acting, maybe you do make a big difference. But I strongly believe that you want to align your core values with what the core values of your outcome for the work or for whatever you're doing, align to that. Number 10, Alfred Adler, follow your heart, but take your brain with you. And I mean, damn, follow your heart, but take your brain with you. That one's hard to talk about because I think a lot of us probably follow our heart more often. And I think it's important to say that when you take your brain with you, it's what makes those hard decisions as opposed to your heart. Maybe your heart tells you to stay at work, stay where you are because you enjoy being there, but your brain tells you that you need more money, right? Maybe your heart tells you to play World of Warcraft instead of making YouTube videos, but your brain tells you that you should make this video and you should upload it because in the long run, it'll be worth it. Maybe your heart tells you something that you feel is valuable to you, but your brain tells you that you know the truth. And I think that's a very deep quote because it tells you to follow what you feel, but to make the decisions that you're going to make sense. And that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching.